We are live. Wow. Straight out the lair, episode 30. And we're doing something unique, something different today. We're going live with probably one of my favorite guests thus far. Big statement there, right, Tyus? None other than my little brother, Rafael Brandao. How are you, my friend?
Bro, I'm so happy to be here again. You know, thank you for this opportunity to be here and do the first live. You know, this is exclusivity.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've ever done a sit-down interview too?
Yeah.
In English?
Yeah, I did like English interview before, but like just in the PC.
Yeah, on Skype, right?
On Skype,
Yeah.
right? But this is my first one. So thank you, bro. Thank you.
Of course, bro. Fantastic. And obviously this is my first live of many of this week. You know, you got in, 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
And you came straight from Sao Paulo?
São Paulo, yeah. I came from São Paulo.
And
It's a long trip.
I know, because you landed. Actually, I'm going to send this to Tyus. I don't know if it's too late to send this to Tyus. Probably is, but you landed, and I got a nice little photo from you on the fucking BMX bike right in front of the Christmas tree. Where are you, bro? That's what he says to me. Where are you, bro? And I'm like, I told you I'm still in Mexico, and I've been trying to get you here obviously for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But what I liked about when you and I spoke, where you were in prep, I once you told me, it's like, hey, Flex, things are really clicking here for me. The first thing I said was, what? I said,
Keep it doing.
keep doing it.
Yeah, you remember, I was supposed to come here like 12 weeks before the show, the Mr. Olympia. That was the plan. But everything changed in my life in Brazil. So I got a new sponsor. I moved from my city to São Paulo again. So I couldn't make it happen, you know, to come here and left everything there because I was working on this thing. And but
a lot of big changes.
Yeah, a lot of change, good change. Thanks God. But you know, I was doing everything that I could, like, and I was training with Fabricio Pachalokis. He's helped me a lot. And I remember some days I was like, oh, I was supposed to be with Flex, you know, training at Dragon's Lair, but okay, I'm not there, but I bring that energy to here, you know. So before I start training with Fabricio, we always talk about training with Flex in Dragon's Lair, you know. And sometimes I was like super tired, you know. And I closed my eyes and doing this exercise, and I remember 3, 2, second place, first place, and yeah.
Who's that, bro? Who's that?
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's Flex. That's fucking Flex Lewis. So yeah, bro. That's, you know, I was here. I didn't do my prep here, but you was there with me, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Well, listen, as selfish as I wanted you around, there's a lot of things going on my end too. You know, I think that, you know, God works in every way it should have worked, and sorry, in every way possible, and how it worked for me and how it would work for you. Things are clicking. So, you know, you hooked up with Fabricio, right?
Yep.
And you guys were putting in some solid workouts.
Yep.
I was watching you from afar, and I was like, yeah, you know, that's what I want to see. If I was seeing you fucking around, which you and fucking around in the same subject doesn't go together, right? But if I was watching you just putting in half-ass sets, you would have heard from me being like, okay, bro, what the hell's going on here? You need to get on a plane. You need your ass kicked or whatever it would be. But you are kicking your own ass every day, every time I seen you filming and whatnot. And also, from what I gather, was because of the other bigger change that were going on in your life. Obviously, you were with one sponsor for a number of years, and you know, changed to being with Probiotica.
Probiotica, yeah.
And that's a big company too.
Yeah, it's a big company in Brazil too.
Congratulations on that, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I know that you and Karen hit me up when that happened, and well, we spoke prior to that, but I know that's a very good good signing for you. So
Yeah, it's very good.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm super happy, because it's everything is new opportunity, um, new life coming to São Paulo, and new sponsor and new team. So everything's fresh, and I'm happy with this because I'm doing my first Mr. Olympia.
First Olympia, bro.
And bro, I have been working so hard for this moment. I started bodybuilding when I was 19 years old, and I competed my first show when I was 20 years old. And I turned pro when I was 23 years old, and I turned pro in 2016. And the next weekend, we come to Las Vegas for the first time. So 2016, myself and Karen come to Las Vegas after I turned pro. So when I got in the Orleans Arena, was like I and Karen was looking like, oh my gosh, look at this.
Yeah.
This is the dream of our athletes, So in that day, I saw you making our fourth,
16,
2016, fourth, fifth. Yeah, your fifth. I saw Phil Heath doing his sixth.
Yeah.
And I remember it was crazy for me. Everything like, come to US first time, come to Las Vegas first time, and watching the Mr. Olympia. When I went to the arena, I said to Karen, I'll be there. I will be there one day, and I work for this. And then everything starts. Karen said, "Yeah, I believe you. Let's make this happen." And now, like, how many years after?
Yeah.
2022, I'm coming to my first Mr. Olympia, and I could be here in 2020. I already qualified too, but God's plan is different than your plan, my plans. So I got a COVID in 2020, 5 weeks before the show, and it was hard for me.
It was bad.
It was bad, and I couldn't come. And now I come in, and was hard because I was working for qualified to the Mr. Olympia. I flight during the COVID. It was fucking hard to go to the
Spain, right?
Spain, driving 10 hours. Oh, that's crazy. But
I know.
I was feeling like upset, but I knew God had a big plan for me. And now I come here to do my first Olympia in my best shape.
Yeah.
So, I've been working hard. I've been working so fucking hard during these years because I know I can come and chuck the word.
Yeah. I know you can. I mean, we took a picture yesterday.
Yep.
And we posted it up. I don't know if Tyus, can you overlay that photo? Is that on the screen right now? That was taken literally yesterday after we trained chest together. And I was so fucking shocked because we went back into the Arsenal strength room, which obviously there's nobody back there. The private room that's here in the Dragon's Lair, which for any viewers who have seen any of these photos that have been taken recently, I think Nick Walker was in there today, standing on the same spot as you, taking photos, comparing himself, obviously, and it's good lighting back there, but nobody can get access into that room unless there's given permission, right? So you took photos in there yesterday because I wanted to see you without distraction. There's so many athletes in the gym right now, and they're all wanting to see who's looking, photos. So that was the first time I seen you, and I didn't see, I made sure not to look at you until the very end of the workout.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get that shock too, and I was like, holy fucking shit. And what did I do? Who did I call?
I was talking to Karen. Hey, I never see Flex doing like this with me,
Yeah.
When he said to me, hey, posing. And then I cracked the posing and what the fuck?
Yeah.
let's do a picture. Come here, pose here, pose here. Hey Ali, come and see the shit.
That's
So
right.
yeah,
And the front desk was crazy full too. And Ali was working the front desk at the gym, signing people and everything. Ali, come back here right now. She's like, what's going on? I don't just come back here. I'm with Tyus. Bring Tyus. So Tyus, my producer, and Ali came back, and I was just like, holy shit, bro. Crazy improvements, bro.
Yeah, thank
Crazy,
you, bro.
man.
Thank
I'm so
you,
proud
bro.
of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Incredible.
You're part of this, you know.
Yeah, but listen, you were the one that put the work in, and you can take a horse to water, but you can't make somebody drink it, right? So I kind of opened the doors for you to come into the gym, and we've trained so many times and kicked each other's asses. Of course, I was always the strongest one and everything else.
Yeah.
But a very huge competition, as most people know,
Yes.
when we and you trained together. But it was a lot of fun, right? And even though it was a very spirited workout,
Yes.
it wasn't. We never fucked around. It was a very competitive spirit. Every time we went into the gym, I would do a set, and I would max out something, 20 reps or something, and then this fucker would come in. Hey, bro, how many reps you do? 20. 19, 20. He's laughing. 21. I was like, oh, okay. So next then it was fucking me, and I go 22.
Yeah.
22. But hey, that worked, right?
That worked,
It
bro.
worked, man. It's fun.
I told you that was my best time training, because Dragon Slayer here is different than Boca Raton.
Of course.
The Boca Raton was, the energy was super restricted, because when it was there, just me, you, and John.
Yeah.
So nobody was there.
It's a church.
It was like different, and you was trained to compete too.
Yes.
Was totally different than.
Totally different.
And so
That was a fucking
that's
asshole.
bro, that's awesome, because I can say to people like I trained with Flex Lewis when he was training to compete, not just training for health. Today you train for health, because you love it, and I know you push hard too, but at that time it was different. It was training to be, to growing, and I remember when I was training like sometimes twice a day, and we come back always Mondays to do chest at 7 p.m. Remember? And it was fucking amazing.
It was quiet.
Quiet, and sometimes no sound, no music. Just just the plates and
And John was convinced there was ghosts in the place. He's like, bro, you hear that? John,
you hear that,
listen,
John?
we know this ghost, John. Okay, John, we know it's ghost. No, bro,
they're friends.
There's somebody here. I said, don't worry, that's right. They're friendly ghosts, bro. Don't worry. He was so paranoid, remember?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, you hear that box move? And then I was like, yeah, I did hear that box move. Okay, snap out of it, Flex. It's okay, But it was there was a very unique time that I know we kind of spoken about it a few times, right? There was a very unique time and whether we knew it was unique or not, now we can look back and go, wow, it was crazy, right? I don't know if we, now I think we can appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But at the time, I knew you appreciated it. I knew John, and maybe I appreciate more now looking back, but I certainly didn't appreciate it as much as I should have done during the time, especially during COVID, right? We didn't post a single, we didn't post a video during COVID.
Yeah, but
and we trained every day.
Bro, for me, I was living a dream, I was living a dream because now we got a friend, you got a, family. But at that time, I remember when you sent a text to me, hey, come to train here, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't know if you was inviting me to do one working out or to 1 week or to live there, but
it was one workout, but he fucking
so
stayed.
yeah. But I said to Karen,
I know.
look at this. When you said when you sent that text to me, you say, Gary, come here, look at this. Put it on translate because I didn't speak English.
Yeah, you
Put it on translate, please. Flex was inviting me to train. She said, yeah. I said to Karen, we have to go. So and Karen said, yeah, let's go because Karen, bro.
Oh,
if it's not Karen, it's not Rafael, you know.
Of course, we all love Karen. She's awesome.
So yeah, and I remember said, okay, Karen, you have to go. So let's. At that time, I didn't make building like keep doing body, and I said to Karen, okay, I will sell the car, and I sell everything and go there because it's the best opportunity of my life, you know. I don't know if he's invited to one working out, one live there, but my mission is go there and show that it's the best for me, and I will do everything. And then Carrie said to me, hey, when he was going, she was she always talk to me and make me know better, better, better. And she said to me, hey, this is your best opportunity, right? So give every single day, every single reps, every single movement, because you have to show flex. You're not joking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to show flex. You is one train with him. That's what I did. You know, I remember that day I arrived there. He wasn't there. He was in Italy.
Okay.
And
Just like when I was in.
then you arrived like Sunday, and we start Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I did speak English, understand nothing. We don't need to speak to train.
I was using Google
Yeah, you don't need to speak to train. Just coming, you know.
Yeah.
And then we was training, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Tuesday, and every single day, guys, I was talking about leg day.
Oh yeah.
Was yeah. Every single day. Hey, some guys come here on leg day and never come back. And I was like, okay, Sunday is my day. Sunday I will show to these motherfuckers. I'm not coming to joke.
Yeah.
And I remember was training on Sunday. Me, you, John, and Neil.
Neil was there too?
Neil was there.
Yeah,
Neil was pushing
okay,
the
okay, different kind of leg workout
Yeah.
too.
And I remember say, okay, that's the day I will show this guy I'm not coming to joke, you know.
Yeah.
This is real for me. And I remember we start training at
Leg
extensions, and we start doing put some weight, put more weight, more reps, and I remember at the time, I think it was the last set, you guys was like, come on, 5, 4. It was like 25 reps.
Yeah.
And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I keep it. And
Yeah.
you guys stop to count.
Yeah.
Just like watching.
You had the stack on.
Yeah.
You had the full stack on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stack. I stack.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the real number, but more than 40.
You were zoned.
Yeah. And I think that day I take the respect from you guys, like training.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, look at this fucking guy. Okay, I see you. Because most of the people are already kicked out on leg day at that point in time. I have a collage of photos of all the athletes that have come over to my gym over the years and thrown up in the storm drain. Do you ever throw up in the storm drain?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Like, I have to find them photos. So for all the viewers that are listening on Spotify, or for all the viewers who are watching right now live, thank you very much for tuning in. But we had a storm drain in Boca Raton right outside the door. And I think it was the who's who of everybody's thrown up. And I was bragging one day. Were you there when John's dad was there? And I was saying, oh, I've never thrown up in the storm drain. I've never thrown up in the storm drain.
No.
Remember that? Oh, I fucking was talking about not throwing up and I threw up. I didn't even, and it wasn't even nothing to do with fucking training.
I remember.
Remember, I was talking a story about fucking dog shit. So a dog had shit by the garage door, and I stood in it, right? And I was like, oh, fuck, it's dog shit on my shoe, like from a story a couple of days ago.
Oh
And I was
my
telling
gosh.
John's dad, and I was like, oh, the other day I stood in dog shit, and it was on my shoe, brand new shoes, and I was like, what? It's nothing to do with fucking training.
Yeah.
I fucking threw up, but everybody's thrown up in that storm drain.
Yeah, everybody.
But I do want to let all the viewers know that before we go into too much detail and go all over the place, we are going to be doing a Rafael Brandao podcast in the future. Probably after, obviously all about you right now and your current state and where you're at, and we've got so many different memories and so many different stories that we can talk about. I want to focus on the and obviously the fans got to see what you looked like yesterday with me posting. You also posted something today on your Instagram.
Yeah.
I think you've done a side chest.
Side tricep.
Side tricep, yeah, showing your glute and ham tie-ins and the improvements that have been made there. What do you think has been the biggest improvements since you've been, I would say, last on stage? Because Brazil was the last time you stood on stage, right?
But Brazil, I wasn't good in Brazil. I wasn't in my 100%.
How?
I don't know, the diet was different, I wasn't in, with my mind on the game. I don't know why.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Things that happened. Karen had been sick, and you had got sick again.
Yeah, I was supposed to do my prep here. I have to come back early, remember?
That's right.
So, but okay. But from my last show to now, I think I improved my low back, my traps, arms, and hamstrings and glutes.
I think the separation in your legs, too.
Yeah. In the front, quads.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more, but I think the most improvement was in my glutes and hamstrings.
Oh, your glutes, yeah, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was, I needed to improve to, turn around and say, oh, good.
Yeah.
And yeah. And my waist is a little bit thinner, like, chest a little bit. Everything improved a little bit, but I think most improvement was in my back, low back, and glutes and hamstrings.
Got you. Yeah, and with the last, I will say this. I know that you've had, what's the off season you've had now between Brazil and the Olympia prep? Got about
a little bit, 4 months.
Yeah. And in that 4 months, how heavy did you get up to?
295. Yeah,
it was a clean 295 too, right?
Yeah.
You weren't sloppy, you weren't fat or anything like that. You were, every time I see you, you're very good at, you've got a good appetite, right? I wouldn't say you got a bad appetite. Even if you say, it's not the best, you still are able to, you would eat more than me. Remember how struggling I was?
Yeah.
And I always see you eating like big portions of carbs. That seems to do very well with you. I see you eating big bowls of pasta and
bread and a lot of food, chicken, everything. I did the work, bro. I did the work. I could be bigger, but I have some problems too during the off season, like the flu and
twice, right?
And I lose weight so fast, like
me too.
So but whatever. I did everything that I could, and I'm happy now because I know I will go to the stage like 4-5 pounds heavier and leaner and harder, with more maturity.
That's it. I think that is a big thing in your frame that I've noticed too. There's a lot more, at 29, right?
Yeah.
When you 30? When you turn 30?
Next year.
Yeah. But I'm noticing now you're starting to get that muscle maturity.
Yeah.
That when I first met you, was it 4 years ago? When did I meet you?
2018.
Yeah. Couldn't speak any fucking English.
Nothing. So
but you were
hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
You would say, hi, shit.
Yeah.
I taught you all the bad words. And you taught me all the bad Portuguese words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tudo bem?
Tudo bem?
Bicha.
Bom dia, bicha. Yeah.
You would teach me all the bad words. But anyway, I can't remember half of them, so that's a good thing. But you remember all about
I
it.
remember how.
But one thing I do have to tell the viewers is, and whether they know this or not, and I've said this probably many, many times, is the commitment you had to the sport, not only on stage, off gym, out the gym. You knew that speaking English was a valuable tool,
Yes.
not only for sponsors, but business, but also for the fans too. You know,
Yep.
the fans obviously are global.
Yep.
Everybody around the world wants to hear your voice, wants to hear your, you talk in interviews. And one of your goals was, when we first met, to do an interview.
Yes.
And you were very nervous about doing the interview.
Yeah.
But again, I seen the commitment you had. I think you were probably in Boca Raton maybe a couple of weeks. And I said, what are you doing later? I got English lessons. How long have you been doing English lessons? Oh, I've been doing them for about 2 weeks now. I was like, oh my God, bro. You're like, you've only been here a couple of weeks. And you started committing yourself to English lessons. What, you having them a couple of times a week, right?
Every day.
Every day then,
Every
yeah.
day.
But it started off 1, and then 2, and then
2 and 3 and 4 and
Yeah.
every day.
And then I realized just how much of a shit talker you were. And then I was coming to the gym, and he was like, hey, motherfucker. I'm like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? You picked up English so fast,
Yeah.
bro. Very well.
Yeah,
I'm
because
so proud of
I was just doing the English class.
you. Mhm.
I was doing English class and I was watching videos
Mhm.
every day.
Flex Lewis
Since-
YouTubes.
Yeah, I was talking to you, you know.
All the time.
Bro, you taught me a lot, you
Yeah.
know. You had a passion to explain. Sometimes I was trying to say something to Flex to learn English. So, yeah, bro. And
Yeah,
now I'm here.
I know.
We're talking and we can talk about everything.
Anything. And you could talk to the fans. You could talk to...
Because just people know well on stage. That's the athlete, but I'm more than athlete, you know.
Mhm.
I have my wife, I have my family, I have everything in Brazil. So
You have your businesses.
yeah, my business. I want to share with people, you know, how not just athlete, but in my house, with my business, with my things there, you know. So yeah, it's good for speak English and have this connection around the world.
Yeah. With the fans now, and obviously what we are a week out from the Olympia.
Yep.
What can the fans expect from the social media side of things? Obviously, we've talked about you being on stage and what people can expect. Obviously, you've shown, and one thing again I'm proud of you is that I didn't do is show photos of what I looked like until the last. I loved shocking people. You are great at showcasing your physique throughout the prep, seeing the change. It's more of a new age social media because I look at you and I go, okay, you're 1 foot in old school, 1 foot in new school, right?
Yeah.
You're very good on YouTube, you're very good on Instagram, you're very good on everything else you do in Brazil as well. But what can the fans expect from you in social media this week going into the Olympia? Are you doing anything different?
Bro, I'm sharing with people my day, you know, diet. I like to share with people how is the bodybuilding life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the bodybuilding is growing, you
Yeah.
know, the fitness industry is growing, and we as an athlete, professional athlete, we have to share with the people how is the life, you know,
Mhm.
how is the bodybuilding life, because they think just, oh, he's a bodybuilder, just train, eat, and take some hormones.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This is not true, motherfucker.
I wish that was
you know,
the case.
I wish this, but it's not true. So I like to share with people how's my life, because you know I have a wife. I have to have time to my wife. I have my business. So I still doing meetings from Brazil.
Yeah.
So I share with people my updates. You know, I take a lot of pictures during the day
Mhm.
because I like to see the change from when I wake up,
Mhm.
when I do my first meal, second meal, third meal. You know how body change
Yeah.
during the day. So I like to keep it Chris update. You know, because with more update I give to Chris, better he works, and I like to share this with people. I don't care if I post some pictures and people say, he's too small. Because I know in the next picture you say, oh my gosh, look at this motherfucker. What he did from yesterday for today.
Pineapple.
Yeah, so I like to
Yeah.
share. I don't care about what the people say,
Yeah.
what the people think, because nothing can change my mind. For example, if you come to me and say, hey, Rafa, listen, I think you are not doing very well, so it can be a little bit, harder, a little bit, blah. So I pay attention. If Karen come to me and say something, if Chris come to me and say something, because I know you guys want me, in my best version.
Yeah.
So you guys never you say something to me to make me, bad.
No, it's not gonna hurt your feelings. Just fucking, it's business.
Exactly. So other people, I don't give a fuck.
Good. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I seen that clip you done with
Tarek.
Tarek. I sent it to you, and I'm thinking to myself, this. Oh my! I was laughing. I was giggling because I was like, this is the guy that couldn't speak English not so long ago, and now he's on an English podcast, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, oh my god, this is my little bro. That sounds like me.
I always saw you saying, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Always. And then in this interview, I said, oh, that's my time.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, bro.
That's the title of this fucking podcast. I don't give a fuck.
And some people in Brazil, like 4 or 5 weeks ago, they was asking me about, hey, Rafa, how you feel about everybody putting you out of top 10 or don't talk about you? So, and I said, I don't need people talk about me before the show because I'm sure they will talk about how after the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's my deal. That's my plan. And that's what I believe.
Nice.
That's what I work for.
Yeah.
I come into Las Vegas to shock the world. And I know, I don't know how are you placed on the Mr. Olympia, but I know they will talk about Rafael after you say Rafael is gonna be Mr. Olympia one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I come to get some places to kick some asses.
That's it. I want to. Yeah. You know me, bro. I love that. This is not cocky. This is not like trying to create shit talk. You should be talking with confidence. I had Nick Walker on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I said, Nick said the same thing as you. It's like, I will be Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
And that's how you should be. I don't find that disrespectful. Obviously there's things that can be said that's disrespectful. You know me, how humble I am, but I'm also, how confident I am too. And when I was training every time with you, and I'm training with you, and I'm saying like, I'm going to win the Olympia, right?
Yeah.
That's the mentality you have. I'm not getting up in the morning, sacrificing this and the other. Same for you now, right? You're in the same shoes as what I am, mentality-wise. It's like you look at yourself in the mirror, you're tired, you're fucking asking yourself, it's like, whew, I got to dig deep today. But you know your why. You know what you need to do. And and T that need to be crossed.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you've devoted yourself to this craft, this life, and the sacrifice, what we do on a daily. No sport I can say, I know of, and I've been part of, that physically bad. And so this is a sport of mind fucks, where you can't on yourself. It's like, wow, am I really good, or is my mind playing tricks on me? And fats to even give yourself the logical answer. You're sitting there by saying to yourself, man, I think I'm good, maybe I'm not. So when you tell yourself, I will be, you need to keep reminding yourself that there's an end. You've separated, you've sacrificed, you've got away from all your creature comfort, dad, friends, childhood friends, training to be a, fellow and train Mr. Olympia. And I've said this to you. My thing, this on many podcasts, my own. I also win the honor.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Once you win that honor, you are going to have that.
Yeah.
You're going to have that belief more than ever. And I truly believe you will win the Honor Classic Ohio.
Yeah, I'm too.
Yeah.
I will.
And then, huh?
I will.
You will. And then you will focus on Olympia.
Yeah.
Because I think them two titles will go hand in hand.
Yeah. So, yeah, bro, like I said, we sacrifice, doing dieting, training hard, going to the party, not going to the, family party sometimes, and like the sacrifice yourself, get out, because all these things, and don't believe yourself, you're doing wrong. Believe my. You wake up here in Las Vegas, get here. I look to the mirror and say, "We're gonna shock the world, motherfucker."
Shock the world,
That's the first thing I do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day, I look to the mirror and say, "We're gonna shock the world this year." I don't care if I place 5 seconds, 10, 50, bro. Want to shock,
Your first Olympia, I think, will be going down. See you backstage. You've never been past here. It's the first time it's the Planet Hollywood, so it's new for a lot of us. So you are going to that stage on the backdrop, first ever Hollywood, new arena. So that's history. Rafael Brandao will be the first Brazilian Open athlete for probably 2 decades. 3 decades.
30.
Time a Brazilian Olympia stage open.
Yeah.
So not only breaking Brazilian history, you have millions of fans around the world that are cheering for you. You have your close circle of people that want you to the best you've ever done in life. And I can tell you right now, and I can tell you right now, this is the best brand I've ever seen in my life. The movements that I seen yesterday, the quality of muscle tissue that you put on, maturity that's come in. All I want you to do is stay in a bubble wrap. Don't fuck this up. Land the plane.
Yeah.
Chris Saciro and Rafael Brandao, just put him in a bubble. Yeah. And just make sure that he drops the little bit of water that needs to drop off, and then put him in the show, Chris. I spoke to Chris this morning, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he seen that I posted the photos. He wanted to see what I really thought.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, he looks like shit, Chris." No, I said, no. I told Chris exactly what I told. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Because you looked flat for what I know you as being flat.
Yeah.
You had a little pump, fullness too. So what I think for boy, see in your big is to see you up on stage, polished, tan on, sheen on, dried out, nasty fucking hard, crazy back to front, side, and you hitting the shot. It's not Nick Walker's. Until Labrada's is not. Every physique is different. Everybody poses differently. Only your fans, your competitors, camera, and tell.
Say thank you. Help me with everything here is me. Give me all you. Work with me. Obrigado de coração a todo comentário positivo, me dá mais energia, me dá mais motivação. Semana que vem eu vou no palco não só representando as pessoas que estão do meu lado, vocês. Vocês são minha família, vocês são parte do meu time e eu vou estar lá em cima daquele palco por vocês. Então podem esperar que eu vou estar lá representando o Brasil da melhor maneira possível. Vocês.
Te amo.
Eu te amo. And yeah, bro, I want to for you, you know, the Dragon's Lair family. Always when I come here is different, you know. I love it. I love this place. I love this place. I love the people who work here and love you guys. Thank you for you know having us here again and help you with everything. And two guys who will compete at Mr. Olympia. Don't fucking sleep on my eyes. Don't fucking sleep, bro. I'll be there in my best. I'll bring the fucking energy to the stage.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
I'm excited, man.
I'm excited.
And this is him absolutely depleted, fucking tired.
You know, bro, I'm exhausted.
Yes.
You know, by diet and cardio, but
you're not.
I'm super happy. You know, it's more happy. It's like prepping on my life. I was talking to Karen before coming here, and she said to me, "Hey, we have to be happy because we are living a dream. Like it's not dream from yesterday. It's dream from fucking a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
And you make this happen now. So be grateful every fucking day and be happy. And that's what I'm doing. So that's why I'm doing a lot of videos, a lot of social media, and do my diet, do my cardio, do everything, everything because I am happy, you know. So that's the most important thing. You have to enjoy, you know, the journey because you know the stage is like 5-10 minutes, but the journey is years.